Dear students, today we will discuss very important topic, that is polymorphism. It is a common topic for BSc students. This is final exam topic, polymorphism in Obelia. प्यारे बच्चों, ये जितने भी हमने नोट्स बनाए हैं उन सब की पीडीएफ फाइल हमने वीडियो लेक्चर उसके डिस्क्रिप्शन में अपलोड कर दिए। सभी बच्चे अपने नोट्स डाउनलोड कर लें। इन टुडेज लेक्चर वी विल कवर polymorphism, very important topic, that is final exam topic. Polymorphism, it is the occurrence of an organism of more than one form, means one individual appears more than one form, and it's each form having different structures and different functions, and these individual forms of an organism are commonly named zooids. As in case of Obelia colony, three types of zooids are found. In case of Obelia colony, three types of zooids. So the animal is trimorphic, and this phenomenon is named trimorphism, polymorphism. As in case of Obelia, three different types of zooids. These are Hydranths, Polyps, second type blastostyles, and third medusa. Three different types of zooids are present. It means the Obelia is trimorphic. This hydranth, also named Polyps, it is nutritive cum protective zooid. And this second type, the second zooid it is blastostyle. This is gonozoid. Or dear students, this is a budding zooid. It means it involves in asexual reproduction. And this blastostyle, by producing buds, it gives rise the sexual zooids, the medusa. These are third types of zooids. These are medusa, gonophores, sexual zooids. Gonophores, it means in case of medusa. Gonophore, the organism, the individual, the zooid possesses gonads. That's why it is gonophore. The individual it possesses gonads which are external. First of all, in today's lecture we will discuss first type, that is hydranth. It is polyp. Dear students, this is also named Gastrozooid. It is Trophozooid. As this member, this individual, this zooid is involved in capturing of food, in digestion of food. It provides nutrients to the colony, as well as this zooid involves in defense, protection. That's why it is protective cum nutritive zooid. This is the structure of polyp. Very important diagram से देखें बच्चों, very important. This is Obelia, VS, vertical section of hydranth, polyp, gastrozooid, or it is trophozooid, as it provides nutrients to the colony. This is an elongated, conical, hollow structure which is yellowish in color. This basal part it remains attached by this stalk to the colony, and this terminal part, it possesses an aperture, and this circular aperture, it is mouth, and this mouth is present on a projection. This conical projection is hypostome. Very important for short type questions. The mouth is present on this conical projection, and this conical projection is hypostome or manubrium. And in this manubrium, in this hypostome, a cavity is present. And this cavity, another important question, short type question, this cavity of this manubrium, it is gullet. G-U-L-L-E-T. Dear students, I am discussing polyp, hydranth, gastrozooid, nutritive zooid, protective zooid and trophozooid. क्या काम रहे? It is conical, elongated, sac-like structure which is yellowish in color and it is sedentary in life as it remains fixed with the colony, Obelia colony by this stalk. Its general body cavity, and that general body cavity is gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity, as this cavity involves in digestion of food as well as vascular, means circulation of fluid food that takes place in this body cavity. It is also named coelenteron. As Obelia colony, Obelia, it is a coelenterate, and in these coelentrates, the main body cavity, that gastrovascular cavity, is also named coelenteron. Dear students, this projection manubrium, and it is surrounded by these finger-like projections. These are about 20 to 30 number, and these are named tentacles. And these tentacles which surround this manubrium, mouth, which radiate radially in all directions to capture the food from all directions. And that this main body cavity of this polyp is surrounded by this transparent exoskeleton cup-like structure, and this transparent cup-like structure, the sheath, the coat is, it is hydrotheca. This one is hydrotheca, this cup-shaped cover of hydranth. It produces outer exoskeleton coat, that is perisarc, on this stalk, and this entire body cavity having two layers. This outer is perisarc and this inner wall is coenosarc. And dear students, note down, this coenosarc is further made up of two layers of cells. Two layers of cells. This outer layer of cells, it is epidermis, and this inner layer is which involves in digestion of food, so it is gastrodermis. Both gastrodermis, epidermis, and between these two layers another layer which is non-cellular, it is gelatinous layer. This one is mesoglea, and all these three layers, epidermis, mesoglea and gastrodermis, collectively constitute coenosarc. Now we will discuss different types of cells present in epidermis and gastrodermis. First of all, the different types of cells present in epidermis. These are our following types. Type number A, epitheliomuscular cells. Dear students, epitheliomuscular cells, it means each cell having two processes. This outer projected part is, it is epithelial part, and this lower basal part is, this is muscular part, and in this muscular part a contractile thread is present, and that contractile thread is myelin. It is well supported by two fiber-like structures, and these two fibrils, these are named supporting fibers, tonofibrils. These epitheliomuscular cells, they produce an outer layer, outer protective covering, and muscular means these cells are involved in contraction, movements. Type number next, epidermal cells. These are interstitial cells. These are reserve cells. These are meristematic cells. These are totipotent cells. These interstitial cells, which are totipotent cells, means these cells are capable to give rise to replace other cells. And the third cell is, it is sensory cells. Each sensory cell, elongated, spindle shaped, it possesses a sensory hair, and this basal part possesses nerve fibers. Nerve fibers. And these nerve cells, each nerve cell having different types of projections. These extensions, and these are nerve fibers. But these nerve cells are unpolarized, because these cytoplasmic process are undifferentiated, because there is no differentiation of axons and dendrites. These are unpolarized nerve cells which work in coordination, and they produce a nerve net in epidermis as well as gastrodermis. And the next type of cells, very important, these are cnidoblasts. These are just stinging cells. These are dermatoblasts. And these cells we have already discussed in the introduction of coelenterata. Now, the different types of cells present in gastrodermis. This gastrodermis possesses following types of cells. First type of cells, these are endothelial-muscular cells. These cells resemble epitheliomuscular cells of epidermis, having two parts. This part is epithelial part, and second part is muscular part. Again, it possesses tonofibrils and spalting fibers. Additional cells are present in gastrodermis. These are secretory cells. These are glandular cells which having secretory granules, and sensory cells similar to these epidermal cells. The nerve cells again similar to these epidermal cells, and interstitial, the totipodal cells also resemble the epidermal cells. So dear students, this is all about polyp, hydranth of Obelia colony. In next lecture, tomorrow we will discuss different two types, blastostyle and medusa. Thank you.